from the government. So that's it. So I'm going to call Mr. Ralph Pointer, the husband of the Lynn Stewart, the people's lawyer of United States. Ralph Pointer, please talk and let's know what's the real situation and what's the present situation at this moment. How she's suffering cancer, and we're asking her release, of a compassionate release of Miss Lynn Stewart.
Okay, thank you, comrade. Not so many years ago in this same square, they had demonstrations to start the union movement because of the fire we had just up the street, the shirt factory fire where many people died. And here we are, many, many years later, and I heard from Lynn Stewart yesterday, and she said, remind the people that we fought for workers' rights back then and today. Not far from Waco, Texas, the American workers were killed because of lax laws or lax enforcement of laws to support the workers. In Bangladesh, across the world, people were killed because of lax enforcement of laws. Where are we going? We're going in reverse. And what we must do is stop that reversal now by your appearances. That's right. And in the words of Lynn Stewart, at this same platform, talking to a group such as yourself, she asked the question, what is the difference between your grandparents and my grandparents who came to America for a better life? Her grandparents were Swedish, German, Irish, and English. They could not speak English. But she says, what is the difference? And the answer is, the difference is color. We are people of color, and that has never been addressed in America. In 1619, when they brought the slaves from Africa here, there were no unions. And I must also include when they brought the indentured white slaves from Europe, there were no unions. So we are both struggling to make it better. Well, it hasn't gotten better because we did not unify. It was not our decision not to unify, that we believed as a country in racism. We believed in classism. We believed in sexism. And all of these things must go, including imperialism. When we defeat those principles in our mind, then and only then will we be ready to have a decent life for all. And we will be ready when we start enforcing laws against the corporations. Those people who died down near Waco, Texas, with the same fertilizer factory that was used in Oklahoma, they're still running around. Nobody has been indicted. No one has been arrested for that. They built schools near the factory. They built homes, workers' homes near the factory. They built churches near the factory. They built old folks' homes near the factory. Who has been arrested and who has been indicted? The answer is no one. And I will leave you with that. Until we enforce the laws that we say that are on the books, until we become the people that we say we are going to lose. From Lynn Stewart Federal Medical Center in Carswell, Texas. Be out to support her as she has supported you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was really inspiring. Gracias. Eso fue muy inspirador. Okay. Our next speaker will be Valerie Jen from Fury.
and Dominican immigrants that have worked hard from the moment they've been here to make sure that my three sisters and I have the opportunities that we need. Our organization is an intergenerational organization made up of Blacks, Latinos, Caribbean, African women and youth who are fighting for the right for racial, gender, and economic justice. And all that we have to share with you today is that this country should be ashamed of itself, that we are still fighting for basic human rights, that we are fighting for the right for housing, for sustainable jobs, for services that helps move our families out of poverty. And we are here today, whether we're here present in physically or spiritually or watching on TV or whatever, and we're here today to let this government know that this fight has just begun and we are not laying down until we win. So I ask you today, make today the first day. The next time we come to a rally, you come with 5 more people. The rally after that, 10 more people. You make sure that you get communities out to vote. Make sure that people have their voices heard no matter what it takes, because enough is enough. We are tired of suffering. We are tired of fighting. And now is the time for us to make sure that the unity that we have transcends this space today. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Our next speaker, our next group is Buy USA. New York City, let me hear you. Sisters and brothers, isang mainit ng pagbati sa inyong lahat. We are living in a worsening global economic crisis caused by neoliberalism. Obama claims it is getting better, but is it getting better for immigrants and workers? No! Immigrant workers are facing a brunt of capitalist exploitation in this country. Immigrant workers are economic refugees of neoliberalism. We are not here by choice, but because neoliberalism has forced us out of our home countries, like the Philippines. We come from countries that are impoverished and in chronic debt, like the Philippines. We come from countries destroyed by imperialist wars of aggression and military occupation, which have robbed us of our natural wealth, like the Philippines. And here in the U.S., we are facing discrimination, exploitation, wage theft, and abuse by businesses seeking to extract super profits from our labor. We also face ICE raids, detention, and deportation, now under Obama more than any other previous administration. The Gang of Eights bill is far from a solution to our problems. It only seeks to answer the need of big business, including the military and prison industrial complexes. This enforcement-heavy bill increases the need for weapons production to militarize the border. It will only increase the incarceration and detention of people of color and immigrants to fill their prisons. This repressive racist bill keeps both undocumented and documented workers living in fear, and therefore easier for businesses to exploit and abuse. But immigrants and workers are rising up! Rise up, rise up, rise up, rise up, my people, rise up! If we could beat the Sensenbrenner bill of 2006, we can beat the Gang of Eight bill of 2013! Today, we are billions around the world rising up and struggling against imperialism in all its forms. We are the global 99%. Now is the time for greater resistance, greater movement, and greater solidarity. Mabuhay ang uring manggagawa ng buong mundo. Long live the global working class. Our next speaker.
I'm Luis. I'm from Revolutionary Student Coordinating Committee, and we would like to wish you a happy and revolutionary May Day. So today here, we are gathered in May Day, which is International Workers' Day. We are here to commemorate the revolutionary struggle waged by the exploited and the oppressed for liberation. We must remember worldwide that there are comrades around struggling in the world. They are struggling against an imperialist system for their own liberation. And American capitalism has expanded into an imperialist empire with 1,000 military bases worldwide. Because of the economic powerhouse that it is, we have the relative standard of living that we have here today. But at the primary benefit of a ruling class in this country. This ruling class comes in the names like the Waltons, and the Mellons, and the Rockefellers, and the DuPonts, and they all profit through companies such as Raytheon, the Corrections Corporation of America, and Walmart. And in this capitalist crisis that's going on right now, who's paying for it? The working class in this country and the working class globally. We have been paying for it in longer work hours, in stagnating and falling wages. We have paid for it in the cutting down of unions. We have paid for it, even in Social Security, which is, they say, is on the chopping block by these capitalist politicians. And Obama, even if he's a Democrat, is not a friend of us. Hell no, he's not a friend of us. But globally, there is hope. There is hope because comrades worldwide and internationally are waging a revolutionary struggle. In Egypt, in Greece, in India, and the Philippines. Our destiny is interlinked with theirs, and their destiny is revolutionary victory. That is why in the U.S., in the imperialist beast, in this imperialist beast that cares nothing for humanity but only profit, we must organize for its overthrow. And then we must establish a revolutionary people's power over here. And we must do that by any means necessary. So this May Day, I want you to remember that the destiny of the working class is nothing but the overthrow of this system. And victory is going to be ours. Ya basta! ¡Viva la revolución!
Wow, thank you so much. I feel the unity. That's how we have to do it. We all have to get united to fight against the system. The system is oppressing us.
With lesbian, gay, bisexual, two-spirit, trans, and gender non-conforming people of color. I am also happy to say that the National Democratic Movement of the Philippines is also rallying and marching with our fellow immigrants and other exploited workers in the U.S. and around the world today. We are here to uphold worker and migrant rights. Filipino women are a part of a large percentage of migrants arriving in the U.S. forced to leave their countries. Over 4,000 Filipinos, 70% of them are women, are forced to leave their countries. The Philippine government has a program called the Labor Expert Program that relies on migrants to send money back home so that the migrate. And it is because to provide for themselves and their families due to political instability, extreme poverty, and the lack of opportunity in their home countries. In the era of globalization, migration is not a choice, but it's a means to survive. Criminalizing migrants does not make us safer. It subjects us to countless workers to exploitation, abusive relationships, and prevents the reporting of crimes because of the fear of deportation. Spending billions of dollars on border militarization does not increase our security. It encourages violence and inhumane conditions in detention centers. These practices jeopardize our safety and the safety of our communities. Raise your fist if you are